Kohalo Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachahak Radash. Double honors to the elder apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, for teaching His word in truth and sincerity. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad, and peace and salutations to the sincere Akim that's pushing His word in truth and sincerity. To you I say Shalom. A covenant. A covenant is a formal binding agreement or promise between two or more parties to do or refrain from doing specific things. While similar to a contract, it often implies a deeper, more solemn or perpetual commitment regarding relationships, property, or obligation. This seems to be a real issue with our people. And our people being you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which make up the biblical Israelites. And, we have scattered Israelites throughout the world, the four corners of the earth. Because of, our scattering, you're going to have Israelites looking like and still pretty much indulging in these heathen customs. This is Jeremiah 11, verse 1. The word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord Yahweh, saying, Hear ye the words of this covenant, and speak unto the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and say ye unto them, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, power of Israel, Cursed be the man that obeyeth not the words of this covenant. And there was a covenant made, man. It was a promise made. It was rules given. There was a way of life given, by the Most High Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And we neglected, we failed, we tried everything in our power not to obey them. And this is almost immediately after, coming out of Egypt. Our people just refused to hearken unto the word of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, the one that saved us, got us up out of Egypt, and made a covenant with our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that, he was going to look after us. He promised certain things. He promised us a land. He promised us a certain stature, and we just couldn't uphold. We couldn't uphold our end of the bargain. This is Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, thy power to observe, to do all His commandments and His statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall fall upon you, shall fall upon thee, and overtake thee. So, there was guidelines, man, and we broke them. We couldn't keep it. We kept diving into the heathens' culture, the heathens' way of living. Kept worshiping their pagan idols, creating our own idols, doing everything in our power to separate us from our power. So, he pretty much, he scattered us, man. It could have been a whole lot worse. At one point, he wanted to just destroy us. But, Moses reminded him of his promise. So, we wasn't utterly destroyed. We were scattered. We was basically put in time out. We was put on punishment, and we still living out this punishment to this day. This is Jeremiah 11:4. Which I command your fathers in the day that I brought them forth out of the land of Egypt from the iron furnace, saying, obey my voice and do them according to all which I command you. So shall ye be my people, and I will be your power. That goes into Leviticus 26, and I'm going to read verse 3 and 4, with the point being in 3. If ye walk in my statutes, and keep my commandments, and do them, then I will give you rain in due season, and the land shall yield her increase, and the trees of the field shall yield their fruit. So, we was promised certain things that we can keep up, we could uphold our end of the bargain. And look at the state that we're in now. Look at the state of our people. 2/3 of our people just can't get right. Just like that character from Life can't get right. Our people just can't get right. So, we under them curses. We still under them curses, But, our people will learn, and the way 2/3 of our people going to learn is through pain. They're going to have to taste nuclear fire in the day of the Lord's indignation, the day of the Lord's return, when he ultimately have these heathen nations set aim at Babylon the Great, which is America, with their nuclear warheads. And our people going to be purified through fire. This is Jeremiah 11:5. That I may perform the oath which I have sworn unto your fathers, to give them a land flowing with milk and honey. A land that, that's fruitful and, and in abundance, as it is this day. Then answered I and said, so be it, O Yahweh, O Lord Yahweh. This is 2 Corinthians 6:16, and I'm going to read verses 16 through 18. And what agreement have the temple of power with idols? For ye are the temple of the living power. As power hath said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their power, and they shall be my people. So, in this captivity, there's certain things we just can't uphold. There's the Lord's story. So he already wrote, he predicted, he wrote, he scripted that we weren't going to be able to uphold a lot of those the commandments and statutes. So we have to do it to the best of our ability. So that temple that he's is us. We are that temple. So when you study and you pray, and if the Lord is supping with you, he will dwell within you. He is that he is the living waters. He is that food. He is that nourishment. These scriptures are nourishment. So our job is to focus on our power, which is Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and allow him to dwell in us. That means, we gotta relinquish ourselves from this world. We gotta exit ourselves out of this world spiritually. Excuse me. So we could be closer to our power, because dark days are coming. in the form of Jacob's trouble, in the form of the M.O.T.B. So we have to prepare ourselves spiritually, for those dark days to come. And the only way you're going to do it is by, diving headfirst into these scriptures, and doing your due diligence in order to understand and gain 100% access to the understanding and knowledge of these scriptures. This is verse 17. Wherefore, come out from among them. Meaning, come out from among these heathens, man. We live amongst them, but we don't have to partake in the, in the things that they're doing, man. We live in Babylon, man, but we shouldn't be celebrating Babylon's pagan holidays. We shouldn't be worshiping their pagan gods, We shouldn't be doing all the nonsense and straight up bullshit that we do here. A lot of our people just, they don't consider, they want to play with all these different heathen customs. They want to play with Islam. They want to play with Egyptology. They want to play with Buddhism. They want to play with this. They want to play with that. They worship in the pagan idol, JC, So what do you expect the Lord to do? You know what I mean? When you won't pay him no mind, you won't consider that the things you were taught were wrong. Because if a lot of us played in them churches. I never really dealt with it, but a lot of our people still play in them churches. And it's all pretty much nonsense, man. You're not gaining no knowledge. You go there, you buck dance, you pay your tithes, and you talk shit amongst the people. Look at some girls and whatever else you do in them churches, and then you go back to living a carnal life. Verse 17 again. Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate, saith the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. Verse 18, and will be a father unto you, and ye shall be my sons and daughters, saith the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Almighty. This is Jeremiah 16. Jeremiah 11 and 6. Jeremiah 11 and 6. Then the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai said unto me, proclaim all these words in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, saying, hear ye the words of this covenant, and do them. Our people really have a hard time with authority, and especially being told to do something. They buck up, they talk shit. They don't appreciate, and it just goes back to that term. They don't consider. They rather take the easy road, like to be in these scriptures and study and be diligent, like looking up words, going into the maps, going into the secular history. It's actually fun, but it becomes a little tedious because your eyes start burning. You got to get up in the morning to go to work. But overall, finding out who you truly are is interesting and fun, man. Because now you look at these savages who, them Edomites, so-called white men, they're savages. They're purebred savages. And they hid everything from you. They told they told you that you crept out of caves. They told you that you were evolved from monkeys. So to come into the truth and understand fully who we are and who our power is, man, that's a beautiful thing. But our people, they play with them idols, man. They hold fast to their idols, especially our northern tribe brothers and sisters. They hold tight to their idols. And I mean, they have a lot of them. They pray to statues and crosses and all sorts of weird shit they do. But this is Jeremiah 11:7. For I earnestly protest unto you, unto your fathers, in the day that I brought them up out of the land of Egypt, even unto this day, rising early and protesting, saying, obey my voice. So you have men that have 100% truth, and that's the men of GMS. These other camps, these other churches, your pastor, your preachers, none of them have 100% truth because they don't do due diligence. The men of GMS will tell you straight up, man, don't take my word for it. Go study. Go look these things up, And when you actually do another person's research, it should come back. It should do a whole 360. It should come back. You know what I mean? Like 180, 360, however you want to put it. It should come full circle, And when you do another, when somebody give you information and you go look it up and you do the due diligence to cover your eyes and dot your I's and cross your T's, cover all bases, and it comes back to you in the same fashion, then that research is accurate. That what was said was accurate. So these are the only apostles, bishops, men of GMS that they tell you not to just take their word for it. They actually tell you to study. If you're getting lessons from them, you're going to have a pen and a paper, a pen and a pad. And you don't get that nowhere else. No matter where you go, you're not getting that. So they up early and they protesting, the ways of our people. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of our people are just heathens, man. They have a heathen mentality. They're heathens at heart, in the mind, they're heathens, They want to just live their best life here in Babylon, which Babylon is our captivity. Babylon is our punishment, But our people are Sardis children, pursuant to Jeremiah 4:22. Our people are Sardis, They're Sardis, they're Sardis children, meaning they're stupid, man, foolish, ignorant, But this is Jeremiah 25, and I'm going to read verses 4 and 6. And the Lord Yahweh saith, have sent unto you all his servants, the prophets, rising early and sending them. But ye have not hearkened, nor inclined your ear to hear. They said, turn ye again, now, every one from his evil way, and from the evil of your doings, and dwell in the land that the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, have given unto you, and to your fathers forever and ever. And go not after the other gods to serve them, and to worship them, to provoke me, and provoke me not to anger with the works of your hands, and I will do you no hurt. So why are we in the situation that we in? Why you see our people getting stomped out by Edomites and all these other heathen nations? Why you see our people getting dealt dirty backwards and forwards? Simple. It was just explained to you. Come out of those evil ways. Stop dwelling in evil, which is basically playing with these other gods. diving into all these other different doctrines, pretty much leading to your own understanding, and bucking up against when you hear the truth because it's not pleasing to you. So, this truth is bitter. It's sweet going down, but when you get in that belly, it's bitter. But at the end of the day, if you're true and if you're true and sincere, this is the most beautiful thing this is the most beautifulest thing in the world. This is a beautiful situation you got right here, man. Because you know that the Lord is on your side. You just have to come back into a remembrance and do what's asked of you. This is Jeremiah 11:8. Yet they obey not, nor incline their ear, but walk every one in the imagination of their evil heart, meaning evil mind. So you sitting there thinking all sorts of weird shit to do, living your best life here, trying to get a house, trying to get a car, trying to impress some broads, trying to get the fanciest gold chain, I gotta have the dopest gear. So, the Lord is telling you, man, fall back from that shit. Fall back from all that nonsense and rekindle the relationship with him and his only begotten son, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Jeremiah 11:8. Yet they obeyed not, nor inclined their ear, but walked every one in the imagination of their evil heart. Therefore, I will bring upon them all the words of this covenant, which I commanded them to do, but they did them not. Jeremiah 6:16. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, stand ye in the way and see, and ask for the old paths, where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your soul. But they said, we will not walk therein. So, our people are begging for a beatdown. Our people are cruising for a bruising. They want to eat a missile. Our people are looking to get their ass handed to them. And it ain't going to be by no man. It's going to be given, that ass whooping is going to be given to you by the Most High. And his name is Yahweh. And his only begotten son's name is Yahweh Shai. And you will eat a missile because of your disobedience. It's hard sometimes, dealing with the things of this world. Because you try to exit out of this world carnally and try to be more spiritually, but sometimes things they try to drag you back in. Demons jump on you. Demons play with you. Satan plays with you. Esau, Edom is a pain in the ass. So, but the whole thing is to coming back into this remembrance and praise the name Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Call upon that name Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. The same way we did in Egypt to get us the fuck up out of here. This is Ezekiel 20:8. In the day that I lifted up my hand unto them to bring them forth of the land of Egypt into the land that I had espied for them, flowing with milk and honey, which is the glory of all lands. So we was positioned to be on top. But we messed up, man. We effed up bad. So now we have to get spanked, and A day with the Lord is 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is one day. So we don't dwell, you know what I'm saying? We don't move on the Most High's time, man. So it seems like an eternity for us. It's going to seem like an eternity for us. So we just have to endure, stay patient, exalt the name, exalt the names, man. Stop calling upon these pagan gods. You know, get the hell about your comfort zone. That comfort zone ain't shit, because it was given to you with lies. You know, your enemies gave you that name. Your enemies gave you that doctrine that you play with. So, and it's telling you straight up, man, come back. But like the scriptures say, man, 2 parts is going to burn in fire, man. So hopefully, you know, those who are supposed to get it, those who are of the elect, can hear it, receive it, you know, and start building your relationship with the Most High. And the Father's name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son's name is Yahweh Shai. This is Ezekiel 20, verse 7. Then said I unto them, cast ye away every man the abominations of his eyes, and defile not yourself with the idols of Egypt. I am the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, your power. This is verse 8. But they rebelled against me. Once again, if you look at the book of Judges, every time a new judge came in, and when one judge died or passed away, we went right back into being heathens. We went right back into, you know, the abominable works. We went right back to being, you know, quote unquote assholes, man. We went right back to doing what was wrong. Read verse 8 again. But they rebelled against me, and would not hearken unto me. They did not every man cast away the abominations of their eyes, neither did they forsake the idols of Egypt. Then I said, I will pour out my fury upon them, to accomplish my anger against them in the midst of the land of Egypt. So, you know, we're sitting here right now in what is known as spiritual Egypt, you know, spiritual Sodom, spiritual Egypt. You know, this is Babylon the Great, and we still doing the same thing. You know, our people are just, you can say they borderline retarded, you know, because they're insane, man. They keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result, man. That's the definition of insanity. Our people are literally insane. You know, our women are effed up. You know, they don't know their ass from their neck. You know, our fucking men, they just as wicked. You know, on top of that, with a quote unquote feminine spirit dwelling on them. So, you know, it's just, you know, our people are just screwed, man. A lot of our people are screwed, you know. This is Jeremiah 11:9. And the word of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, said unto me, a conspiracy is found among the men of Judah and among the inhabitants of Jerusalem. So, you know, all the prophets, man, like, you had our people just buck up against them, man, threatening them. Some of them died by the hands of, you know, most of them died by the hands of the people, you know, of our own people, man. Yahweh Shai faced that. You know, our people would rather put him to death than, you know, Listen and follow what he's telling you, man. This is Ezekiel 22 and 25. There is a conspiracy among her prophets in the midst thereof, like a roaring lion, ravening the prey. They have devoured souls. They have taken the treasures and precious things. They have made their many widows. They have made her many widows in the midst thereof. They be separating ourselves from our power, man. Straight up and down. And that's one of the most heinous acts, you know. When the Lord, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, sends out a prophet to warn us, teach us, inspire us to do better, to come back, you know, into remembrance, come back into the Lord's statutes and commandments, you know, and you try to hunt them down. You try to off them. Salakia. And you try to off them. And you off them. Some you offed, you know, but our people bucked up hard, man. To this day, they buck up hard. To this day, they buck up hard. You know, they shrug their shoulders. They, you know, puff out their chest. You know, they give you that Campbell humph, huh. These fucking guys don't know what they talk about. Da. That's because you believe in nonsense. You believe in folly. So you gonna perish in your wicked ways, pretty much, man. It's Jeremiah 11 and 10. They are turned back to the iniquities of their forefathers, which refused to hear my words, and they went after other gods and served them. The house of Israel and the house of Judah have broken my covenant. You haven't broke a promise, man. You broke a perpetual commitment. The Lord said he was going to do certain things for us. He was going to put us in a certain position in the world. But our people refuse to obey. Our people refuse to follow orders. Our people just refuse, you know, to live accordingly. You know, it's easy to fall out, you know what I mean? It's easy to, you know what I'm saying, to play with the things of the world. It's difficult to stay on the straight path, to stay focused with horse blinders on. Keep your eyes, your mind focused on the straight gate. It's difficult because you have so many different things tossed at you in this wicked ass world, especially in Esau's wicked ass kingdom. This is Judges 2 and 11, and I'm going to read 11 and 12. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, and served Balaam. And they forsook the Lord Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, power of their fathers, which brought them out of the land of Egypt, and followed other gods, of the people that were around about them, and bowed themselves unto them, and provoked the Lord Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, to anger. So when you look at it, man, and you disobeying your parents, what do you expect? What do you expect your father to do? You know what I mean? He gonna slap you around a bit, man. He gonna put that leather to your ass, you know? And then you gonna be on punishment. You know what I mean? So back in the day when I was a kid, man, you get your ass whooped. You ain't going outside the place. You ain't gonna go see your little friends. You know what I mean? You're not going to be able to play that Nintendo. You're not going to play that Atari. You know what I'm saying? Your ass ain't playing no video games. You ain't watching no videos. You ain't watching no TV. You ain't playing no records, listening to music. Your ass is on punishment. You going to get up, wash your ass, go to school, come back, do your homework, eat and go to sleep. You know what I mean? If you don't do that, you're going to read something. You're going to read something. But that's punishment, man. You're not going to be able to do what you want to do. But our people continuously, I think they just going to do what they want to do and get away with it. This is Acts 70. This is Acts 7 and verse 51 and verse 52. Ye stiff-necked and uncircumcised in heart and eyes and ears, ye do always resist the Holy Ghost. As your fathers did, so do ye. So, a lot of our people have a problem with reincarnation, man. You continuously you're gonna fulfill your lot, man. These are the same things your knucklehead ass was doing back then, Verse 52, which of the prophets have not your fathers persecuted? And they have slain them which showed before of the coming of the just one, of whom ye have been now the betrayers and murderers. There you go. That lets you know what we did to the prophets. You know what I'm saying? That lets you know what our people did to the prophets. So, really, 2/3 of our people get what they supposed to get, man. You get what you're going, you know what I'm saying? You get what you're supposed to get. The word is gone out. I'm telling you to repent of your sins daily. You know what I'm saying? And come back to the Most High, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and don't look back. This is Jeremiah 11:11. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, behold, I will bring evil upon them, which they shall not be able to escape. And though they shall cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them. Now, you hear that? So this is why we in the situation that we in. You sitting there talking about you got this FBA bullshit, you got this bullshit group, BLM, you got all sorts of weird ass groups. Yo, man, ain't none of these people gonna get you out of the mess that you in, man. Your friends can't save you. You know what I'm saying? When your father's whooping your ass, your friends can't save you. So all this other nonsense people are trying to do, we need to create generational wealth. Yeah, you go right on ahead and try. The Lord say what he's going to do to you. You know what I'm saying? He say he know what he's going to do with that. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to, and it's coming to the time now. Even if you achieve that, what's about to happen now with this sedition amongst men and insurrection that's about to happen, and the good old boys is coming back into play, your ass is going to be done. You're going to be fried. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be cooked, because them good old boys ain't playing. They're going to take what you got. Even these little YNs, man, they're going to take what you got and kill your dumb ass and kill your monkey ass. That's what they're going to do. You know what I'm saying? Because Jake, you can't buy ammunition the way Esau can buy ammunition. You know what I mean? So they were given the blessing of the sword. You weren't. So you could play that silly game all you want. It will be to your detriment. This is 2 Chronicles 34:24. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will bring evil upon this place and upon the inhabitants thereof, even all the curses that are written in the book, which they have heard before the king of Judah, because they have forsaken me and have burned incense unto other gods, that they might provoke me to anger with all the works of their hands. Therefore, my wrath shall be poured out upon this place and shall not be quenched. Woo. You hear what he's saying? You hear what he's saying? You can't escape this, man. He's the only way out. He's the only way out. Your money ain't gonna help you. Your stupid bunkers ain't gonna help you. Whatever you achieve in this silly ass kingdom won't help you. Only Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai can get you out of this mess, because we are his people, and he is our power. You know, and there's no other way for you to get out of this outside of, even when you taste that fire, you still got to go through him. You know what I mean? Whether you are part of the elect and get delivered, or you taste that fire, you got to go through him. You got to go through them. There's no way around it. So even the heathen, I'm going to go through them. Everybody got to go through Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. That's period. You know what I mean? So our people need to wake up. 2/3 of our people just need to wake up. Which, a lot of them won't. Because, they stuck on pause, man. They stuck in their own little world. Trying to get the best out of this kingdom, which is not your rest. This is not your kingdom. This kingdom is Esau's kingdom. You know what I mean? This is our captivity, our last captivity, So we moving closer and closer to that day of nuclear fire, man. We just need that MOTB to play out. We need Jacob's trouble to play out. We need that insurrection to play out. That sedition amongst men. We need all that. We need these things to play out. And once they play out, man, the Lord coming back to cook this place. He gonna set up the Barbie on this place. He gonna burn some hot coals on this place. This place is gonna be a whole barbecue, man. This is Jeremiah 11:12. Then shall the cities of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem go and cry unto the Lord, unto the gods, unto whom they offer incense, but they shall not save them at all in the time of their trouble. So let's see, man, if that JC character, you know what I mean, lifts a finger to help you when Jacob trouble comes, man. When famine comes, pestilence come. You know what I mean? When cats is banging down your door to get to that last can of peaches you got. You know what I mean? To get that last ramen noodle soup you got. You know what I mean? Let's see if JC help you. Let's see if Buddha help you. You know what I mean? Let's see if any of these makeshift gods out of wood and stone help you. This is Proverbs 1. And I'm going to read verses 22 through 28. Verse 22. How long, ye simple ones, will love simplicity? You know what I mean? How long will you love simplicity, man? How long will you love folly? You know what I mean? How long will you love the ways of these Edomites, which is pure fucking folly? You know what I mean? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. And you see it every day, man. These fools hate knowledge, man. They buck up against anything that make any type of sense. 23. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit upon you. I will make known my words unto you, because I have called, and ye refused. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproof. If I also will laugh at your calamity, I will mock when your fear cometh. And it's coming, man. It's coming. And you're going to pray on that clown JC. You're going to pray on all these other silly pagan gods you got. And the Lord's going to sit there and laugh at you. He going to let you get got. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind. When distress and anguish come upon you, then they shall call upon me. See, that's funny because you had an opportunity to call upon the name Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, but you chose to still play with your pagan deity. You know what I mean? You chose to play with your Edomite deity. And listen to what he say. Then they shall call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. Yo, it's not a game, man. This thing is not a game. And our people like to play games. You know what I mean? Our people love to play games. But this here is not a game. And the Lord is telling you that it's not a game. And he's telling you, like, if you don't get to me in time, man, it's not going to be pretty for you. So I hope this was edifying. You know, Al-Barat Azab, I hope this was edifying. Kahala Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rekahak Radash, Abad Babal.